Silencing Palestinian voices hinders our collective understanding of the atrocities in Palestine. Supporting free speech means that acknowledging that all voices, regardless of their political or social stance, deserve a fair platform. Social media, with its vast reach, plays a crucial role in shaping public opinion, making it imperative that it remains an open space for dialogue. Censoring certain voices jeopardises the very essence of free expression. Our commitment to free speech is a commitment to standing against oppression. By suppressing those who speak out for the oppressed, we undermine the core principles of justice and equality. Whether it's advocating for Palestine or any other cause, we must safeguard the right to speak out against injustice. The silencing of voices on social media platforms poses a threat to free speech and the pursuit of justice. Like Sean King, and the restrictions on voices like Motaz Aziza underpin the need to address this issue. Let us champion a social media culture that values open dialogue, diverse perspectives, and the unwavering commitment to standing up for the oppressed and standing up for the rights of the Palestinian people. My advice to you all is do not stop. Don't stop posting about Palestine. Don't stop talking about Palestine. If we all put in a collective effort to keep talking about Palestine online, they will never be able to stop us from using our voices. Thank you.
Folks, it's a real reminder that we have to raise our voices every single day. Free, free!
Palestine!
Free, free!
Palestine!
Free, free!
Palestine!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
In our hundreds, in our thousands! In our thousands, in our millions! In our millions, in our billions! Folks, all voices are so important, but none are so important than our young people. None are so important because it is our young people who are being slaughtered in Gaza. The average age of the people dying in Gaza are 5 years old. You can't even begin to imagine that it is 5-year-olds who are being murdered in their droves. And that's why we make sure that every day and every week there are young people's voices being heard, because they are the voiceless dead in Gaza. Our next speaker is a young speaker from the Lebanese community. Her name is Zahara. She is 17. And she has spoken out on many platforms. And we need to make sure that she has the space and the ability to continue to speak, that her freedom to speak is protected every single day. Zahara, if I can ask you to come to the stage, thank you. Free, free!
Palestine!
Free, free!
Palestine!
Free, free!
Palestine!
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Hello, everyone. I want to thank you all for being here today, because your presence is powerful and we are all on the right side of history, standing with the shred of humanity and conscience that has been left. I want to reiterate that this is not a religious conflict. In fact, it's not a conflict at all. It's a genocide unfolding, the killing of innocent civilians and children. It has nothing to do with Judaism or Islam, and has everything to do with the worth of a human life. No such thing as casualties of a war when you're bombing children's hospitals, places of worship, civilians' homes, and committing war crimes. No such thing as war when only one side has an army. After this ongoing war in Gaza, regions. There has been a division between the people who support the Palestinian movement and the people who support the illegal occupation. Whoever is in support of this occupation is also in support of the brutal murder, displacement, and terrorization towards the Palestinians.
Yes.
So we will start here and we will march these streets to make it clear that the last day of occupation is the first day of Palestinian peace.
Yes.
Why do the cries of a Palestinian child sound any different to an Israeli child?
That's right.
Why don't the Palestinians deserve the basic fundamental human rights?
That is right.
Why is democracy and freedom of speech neglected when it comes to this ongoing massacre?
Yes.
Where is the feminist movement when it comes to the Palestinian
Yes.
How is murder, decolonization, and apartheid ignored when it comes to Palestine?
That's right.
The world is witnessing the oppression of the Palestinians and chooses to remain silent, but silence is never the solution.
Yeah.
Israel has invaded and took over Palestinian land for years. We must remind ourselves that the occupation has been around for 75 years and not just over 90 days. Israel has breached countless international laws, and condemning the Israeli government does not indicate anti-Semitism.
That's right.
How has ethnic cleansing become controversial? How has massacres become quantified? And how has genocide become debatable?
Yes.
We sit and we admire the West and their so-called freedoms. But we didn't realize that their democracy and freedom of speech was only applicable in certain situations.
That's right.
We all deserve equal human rights, and Palestinians deserve liberation.
Yes.
A wise man once said, إذا لم تكن أخي في الدين فأنت أخي في الإنسانية, which translates to, and if you are not my brother in religion, then you are my brother in humanity.
Yes. Yes.
As a Lebanese myself that has been brought up in Glasgow all my life, Lebanon is a nation which has witnessed the scars of past conflict and once again are experiencing them because of Israel's war crimes.
That's right.
It's clear that Israel is attempting to destabilize the world and uphold this illegal Zionist occupation.
That's right.
My Lebanese family back home have been struggling for weeks due to the bombs on the borders of southern Lebanon. Just a few days ago, Israel attacked Beirut, specifically the area of Nahiyeh, injuring and killing multiple individuals. This incident was a clear indication that the ongoing carpet bombing of Palestinians has nothing to do with self-defense,
That's right.
but has everything to do with ethnic cleansing regime of Palestinians.
Thank you, Zahra. What a powerful speech. And you know, friends, that's why we as a Palestinian, we're not worried about Palestine because of people like Zahra. And many of Zahra who live in Gaza, in Lebanon, in Egypt, in every single country, including UK, Europe, and everywhere. We have those voices who will stand for Palestine all the time.
Yes!
عمر فروانة، آية فروانة، مدحت صيدا، تامر الخياط، صلاح زعنون، إسراء الأشقر، رفعت أبو الغول، سليمان الترزي who's a Christian، ياسين الأخرس، شيماء صيدا، بيسان حلس، أسامة أبو ستة، ديما الحاج. And I can read a long list of journalists, healthcare workers, Dima, who has been studying in Glasgow, that lost their life in Gaza. We don't despair. We don't get stressed. This is the price for our country liberation. Today, and with us here, coming to support his country, a brother who lost his brother in Gaza, and he's with us here. Strong, with a strong heart, coming with his kids, showing the whole world we are Palestinian, lose beloved one for the price of our country. We don't despair. Take all our life for the liberation of our country. Friends, it's been a tough time in Gaza. It's been not only if they tell you what's going on is attacking a party or attacking or getting rid of a party. This is a lie. Don't listen to that. Let me give you a few numbers. I asked recently, and as of the 4th of January, the numbers that is going on in Gaza at the moment. 22,600 killed. Two-thirds of those women, children, and elderly people. 57,164 injured. Over 60% of Gaza housing unit is damaged. 60% of Gaza houses damaged. 307 education facilities destroyed, including UN's one. 11 bakeries who supplying food and bread for people of Gaza to survive. 121 ambulances, 20 wash facilities, 3 churches. But this is a message. We tell them, we tell Israel, we tell the whole world, we strong Palestinian people. We are one unity. Zahra said it, it's not religious war. We unite with our Christian friends. And you will hear later today from somebody from Bethlehem, Christian friend as well. We stand strong together. The church open, the churches for Muslims to go and pray when things been difficult for them. This is the Palestinian, unified, one party. We don't despair. Let me introduce to you guys our next speaker, Tony Greenstein, Jewish anti-Zionist Jewish Network for Palestine. Tony, welcome.
Okay, thank you for inviting me to speak to you. I'm sorry that Mick Napier cannot join me, but he was arrested and one of the bail conditions that he was given was that he cannot come to a demonstration because whatever else we have seen, with the massive outpouring of support for the Palestinians, is the attack by the state on the basic right to freedom of speech. And we can see that democracy has a very thin layer today in Britain and America. Indeed, I was arrested a couple of weeks ago, 7 o'clock in the morning, because of a tweet I had made a month previously on Twitter. Thank you. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes. I was baited by a Zionist who said, just say 3 words, I support Hamas. And my response was, I support the Palestinians. That is enough. But I support Hamas in the war against the Israeli army.
Yes. Yes.
Can I make it clear that, of course, I support any group in the Palestinian resistance who fights the occupying Zionist army? I wrote a blog at the time of October the 7th, if you remember, when the Palestinians of Gaza broke out of their ghetto, comparing it to the Warsaw Ghetto when Jewish fighters took on the Nazi occupiers. And that is the situation in Gaza. The war of Israel against the Gazan people, the Palestinians, is the same as the Nazi war against the Warsaw Ghetto. There is no difference. And when Marek Edelman, who was the last commander of the Warsaw Ghetto resistance, came to Israel, he addressed the Palestinian resistance in Gaza, and there was howls of protest from the Israeli press. And when Marek Edelman, as to say, who led the Warsaw Ghetto resistance, died in 2009, he had a state funeral in Poland. The president of Poland spoke, he had a 15-gun salute, but not one Israeli government representative, not even the lowliest clerk from the Israeli embassy, attended this funeral. Because the reality is that Zionism is not a response to, but it's a product of anti-Semitism and the Hitler regime in particular. I said 2 years ago at the Palestine Expo in London that the Israeli state was Hitler's bastard offspring, and I meant that.
Yep.
So Zionism was never the product of Jewish people. The founders of Zionism were actually the Christian Zionist imperialists,
Yeah.
Lord Palmerston, Lord Shaftesbury, and many others. The anti-Semites wanted Jews to go to a Jewish state in Palestine to safeguard British imperialism's interests.
Yes.
It was never about supporting the Jewish people.
Yep.
And until the advent of Hitler, Zionism was always a minority against the Jewish people for a very simple reason. If you're anti-Semitic, you wanted the Jews to go to Palestine. And if you're a Zionist, you agreed with them.
Yep.
So there is a symmetry between